Marie Osmond is not just an entertainer. She's a force of nature. But Osmond's story is much darker than one might guess from her sunny persona. Against all odds, she found the strength to thrive in the face of abuse, depression, and tragedy. Marie Osmond was born in 1959, the second youngest of 9 children and the only girl. The Osmonds were devout Mormons who lived in Utah, and they were quite the musical family. Marie's older brothers Alan, Wayne, Merrill, and Jay formed a barbershop quartet and were later joined by Donnie and Jimmy, performing all together as the Osmonds. Marie was just 3 years old when she made her TV debut alongside her brothers on The Andy Williams Show.
This little girl is the youngest Osmond brother. Now she's their sister, Marie.
However, the Osmond success came at a price for Marie, as she spent most of her childhood performing instead of just being a kid. She told Larry King in a 2001 interview,
"When I was told, can I go out and play? No, I was working, I was recording."
And while she says she doesn't regret growing up in the spotlight, she acknowledged that there was a lot of pressure, admitting, quote, "I grew up really fast." Another issue that arose from Osmond's early life as an entertainer was a people-pleasing attitude that sometimes proved detrimental.
I was so desirous to please everyone that I did nothing for myself.
Sadly, the pressures of the entertainment industry were not the only thing that kept Marie Osmond from having a normal childhood. In Osmond's 2001 memoir, Behind the Smile, My Journey Out of Postpartum Depression, she revealed she had been sexually abused as a child. Osmond said that there was more than one incident, and while she did not identify her abusers, she wrote, "They were not people I have ever had a close relationship with, including my family, my friends, and business associates. The abuse occurred in brief periods where it was assumed I was in a safe environment." The effects of the abuse Osmond endured lasted through her adult life, affecting her mental health and contributing to her postpartum depression. In 2019, Osmond spoke on The Talk, where she had a brief stint as a co-host, about how her early experiences made her question her sexuality. She explained, "When I was 8 or 9, I actually thought I was gay. And the reason is because I had been sexually abused to the point that men, they made me sick. I didn't trust them. I didn't like them." By the time Marie Osmond was a teenager, she was already a household name and starring in her own variety show, Donnie and Marie, alongside her brother Donnie Osmond. The Osmond siblings were known for their wholesome image and bright smiles, but behind the scenes, trouble was brewing for Marie. She was pulled aside and brutally body-shamed by the powers that be at the studio. She told Fox News, "One day, I was taken out into a parking lot, and one of the studio people told me that if I didn't drop 10 pounds, they were going to cancel the show. They said I was an embarrassment to my family, and I needed to keep the food out of my fat face." As a result, Osmond, who was already a petite 103 pounds, pared herself down to 93, and it wasn't with the help of a nutritious diet. The singer told Fox that her method of weight loss was starvation, explaining, "I would literally starve myself for 3 days before taping, drinking lemon water and cayenne pepper with maple syrup so I could be skinny." Osmond struggled with her weight throughout her adult life, eventually becoming a spokesperson for Nutrisystem in 2007, the program she credits with helping her healthily manage her weight.
And every day when I say you get up and you put on your face and you find a way to get through the day, boy, I couldn't find a way to get out of my pajamas.
Marie Osmond is the mother of 8 children, with the oldest born in 1983 and the youngest in 2002. Osmond has said that after the births of her first 6 children, she had what is commonly referred to as the baby blues. But after her son Matthew was born in 1999, Osmond experienced a bout of serious postpartum depression. Osmond spoke out about her ordeal in an interview with TV Guide in 1999, explaining, "I was absolutely physically exhausted. I went into absolute muscle spasms where I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't move my arms." The stress became so intense that Osmond left her children with a babysitter and drove away. She admitted, "I just really felt that my kids would be better off if they did not have a mother." When she returned home days later, she was diagnosed with depression. Osmond detailed her experience and how she managed to get through it in her 2001 memoir, Behind the Smile, which aimed to help other women suffering from PPD. She wrote, "We need to pull open the curtain of silence and talk about the physical and emotional changes that happen during postpartum depression." In 2005, Marie Osmond and her family suffered a close call when their Orem, Utah home caught fire. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the damage from the fire was significant. Osmond was in California at a speaking engagement at the time, but her then-husband, Brian Blazel, was home with some of the couple's children with whom he managed to escape. According to Osmond, the fire was a wake-up call that pushed her to end her marriage. She and Blazel wed in 1986 and welcomed 7 children together, but by 2005, things had begun to fall apart. "I realized this home I had created was a facade to a marriage that wasn't happy for 20 years. I really believed it was God. They say the burning within, so sometimes these things happen to wake us up." In March 2007, less than 2 years after the fire, Osmond and Blazel announced they were getting divorced. Of all the misfortune Marie Osmond has faced in her life, the most devastating has to be the death of her son, Michael. Michael Blazel was just 18 years old when he died by suicide in 2010. According to Osmond in an interview with Oprah, Blazel had been going through a difficult time, and he entered rehab for substance issues while Osmond was on Dancing with the Stars. Osmond told Oprah that her son tried to take his life while in rehab, but promised he wouldn't make another attempt. Osmond had been performing in Vegas with her brother Donnie and was headed on stage when she saw she had a phone call from her son. She told Oprah, "I was just running out as my phone rang, and I couldn't get to it." She called him back that night, but he didn't answer, and she later got a call from the coroner's office. She told Oprah that she knew it was about her son.
"I had to choose to keep living for my other children who wanted to hide and go into a cave."
Even though Osmond has been seemingly unstoppable in the ensuing years, the grief has remained. In 2019, she shared with CBS Sunday Morning, "You know, I don't think you're ever through it. God gives you respites, and then all of a sudden, it'll hit you like the day it did."
And in that moment, Katie, I woke up gasping, and I knew he was okay.
If you or anyone you know is having suicidal thoughts, please dial or text 988 to speak with the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You can also seek help by visiting 988lifeline.org.